This week we begin reading a new book in the Torah, the book of Vayikra. The word Vayikra means, and he called, as the book begins with God calling to Moses to teach him the laws that Moses was then to pass on to the Jewish people. There is an interesting irregularity in the way that the word Vayikra is written in the Torah scroll. In contrast to the other letters in the Torah, the last letter of this word, the letter Aleph, is traditionally written in a much smaller, undersized script. Our sages tell us that the Aleph is made small to teach us that even though Moses had achieved much greatness and spoke directly to God on a regular basis, he still remained a small and humble man in his own eyes. But why the letter Aleph? Being the very first of all the letters in the Hebrew alphabet, makes the Aleph the leader and the greatest of all the letters. If the Torah wants to teach us about humility, wouldn't it have made more sense to teach us this lesson by making another less significant letter small, and not the Aleph, which stands for greatness and leadership? But by using the greatest letter to teach us the lesson of humility, the Torah is teaching us what true humility is really about. There are people who are generally quiet, reserved, and non-imposing on others. That's as long as no one steps on their feet. But if someone else dares to contradict or question them in their field of expertise, they suddenly lose their humble nature. For such people, their greatness and their humility are two distinct worlds that don't come near each other. By choosing to downsize specifically the greatest letter, the Aleph, the Torah is teaching us that a person's humility should not only be expressed in areas where they may not excel, but rather that a person's humility should be in the very same area as his or her greatness. As parents, we know that different kids will excel in different areas. Some will be good soccer players, others will be good swimmers, some may be artistic, and some will be mathematically inclined. Teaching our kids the basic trait of humility and how to give room for others is of utmost importance. But part of that education is imbuing within them the ability to give space to others in those very areas where they themselves excel. The best way to impart this is by example. When our kids see us giving credit and recognition to others in areas where we too know a thing or two, this teaches our children to act likewise. This will turn them into far happier children with good character traits who know how to get along with others very well. Good Shabbos.